You already know what day it is. Today is Sunday, which means today is Fans' Choice. We are in the final issue in this 5-issue series of Dr. Voodoo, Avenger of the Supernatural. Dr. Voodoo, Dr. Doom, side by side, taking on Nightmare. Yo, what are we waiting on? Roll that intro, cuss. Yeah. What's going on, Geek Corner? This is your boy, Earth Smack the Mad Scientist, and welcome back to the Orange Phoenix Media Channel and another episode of Fans' Choice. We are in the final issue of Dr. Voodoo, Avenger of the Supernatural, and a war is going on right now. A war to a point where Dr. Doom and Dr. Voodoo have to fight side by side. So let's jump into it. So what we got to realize is that Latveria is the only safe place on Earth because Nightmare has possessed a great majority of the world's population, and they are pretty much engulfed in their own nightmares. But Daniel was smart enough to give the Orb of Agamotto and the Vishanti under Dr. Doom's guard. So here we are in Latveria, Dr. Voodoo and Doom side by side, and they are honestly getting overtaken by the forces of Nightmare. Now Dracula attacks Dr. Doom, but Jericho was able to stab this man in the heart. But unbeknownst to Dr. Voodoo, Ghost Rider is behind him, and he says, by whose authority, Sources Supreme, do you police us? By whose authority do you meddle with the will of God? He will not suffer your audacity, but you will suffer all the anguish that you have spread, Jericho Drum. You will suffer the penance stare. Now with the penance stare, everybody anybody that knows, if you get hit with that penance stare, if you got some past sins that you haven't absolved yourself of, you're gonna suffer. Yeah, you're gonna suffer. Now, thankfully to Dr. Doom was able to land a blow on one of the Ghost Riders, and he says, fate, but Dr. Doom makes his own destiny. And he says, we are overrun, fall back to your feet, wretch, as he talks to Dr. Voodoo. And they was able to get this short reprieve because they was getting overrun. Like if they would have stayed out there, they would have lost. But thanks to Dr. Doom, he was able to lift the penance stare from Jericho Drum because he was down and out. Now Daniel says, listen, rest Jericho, no man escapes the agony of the penance stare, the book of the Vishanti Doom. Doom says, of course, upon request as per our agreement, if you think it will help. And Dr. Voodoo says a spell. He says, Vishanti offer now tomorrow's brightest stage. What future holds victory? By Legba, such a price. Daniel says, what must we do? Like, Nightmare cannot infect vengeance of God. Only the human hosts of the Ghost Riders are possessed by the unreal. Daniel, you must join the spirit of vengeance. Take the body of Johnny Blaze. Like, I understand. And for this to work, I will need this one weapon Nightmare has proven vulnerable to. Doom says, my personal actuality shield. And he takes that shield and he says, vengeance will be mine. Now Daniel possesses Ghost Rider, and he says, but you will help us achieve vengeance of our own. Voodoo says the actuality shield will momentarily make him real, but you must be in contact to do so. You will have to break through his protective barrier. An actuality suicide bomb. Great. So at this point, it will make both Nightmare and Daniel real. And honestly, that will put Daniel in harm's way. Like, he will cease to exist. He said, Daniel, this task, the actuality shield, will erode you as well. You will die. He's like, yeah, I know. I heard. I'm fine, Jericho. How it was to be. Saving the world. That'll make mom and dad happy. Show them you weren't such a bad influence after all. Don't worry, Jericho. I'll tell him. Okay, you pale, ghoulish son of a bitch. And at that point, he hits the actuality shield. He makes Nightmare real. And at that point in time, they were dragging this man to the door. But before that, Jericho Drum had to clock him one because, like, Nightmare put this man through the ringer. Now, I mean, I can't just drag you through the door and just throw you into the abyss. I got to get my licks in first. I got to do that. And so at that point, Nightmare says, yes, fine, all part of the show. Yours brother's death, another layer of your deepest desires laid bare. All part of the curse you bring your family. Yet I am the villain for granting it to you. I merely channeled the mound of fear and terror festering inside. I didn't create any of this. You did. And Voodoo says, enough of your lies, enough of your manipulations. Doom was like, all right, forget this bullshit. Step aside. The device the Ghost Rider hits you with, deploy pure actuality. You are remade in true matter, beast. Matter easily converted to energy. And Dr. Doom makes his move. He said energy easily absorbed by Doom. Now, one thing you gotta know by Doom is that if you are allied with this man, you might want to think 2 or 3 steps ahead of this man, because yes, you are allied with him, but at any moment's notice, he can double cross you. Okay, and this is not new to the game. Now, if you read Marvel Comics through and through, if you align yourself with Doom, it's going to happen. He's going to double cross you at some point or another. There's a knife coming. He says, all of the power of the unreal in my hands. You are a greater fool than I ever imagined, Jericho Drum. Did you believe I let you in Nightmare's realm by mere coincidence? Did you think I would casually discard the Eye of Agamotto? Which we saw him do in issue number 1. He said, imbecile, I am Doom, foretold in Agamotto's prophecy. All of humanity's subconscious, black energy, mine. Now give me the eye. Now from that point, Voodoo says, I know all of this, Doom. I'm not stupid. He like, I will have that engraved on your tombstone. Okay, do it. Kill me. The power is finally in your hands. Take the world, Doom. Kill me. He like, I cannot. I can't send my dearest brother to his death. Doom starts. Wow, a lot of crazy gypsy swearing going on. Now at that point, Daniel somehow, some way possessed Dr. Doom once he hit the actuality shield. He like probably upset with himself for handing over his actuality shield, leaving himself vulnerable to your possession, Daniel. How did the Book of Ashanti know? He said, it didn't. I was reading a spell of trust to ensure Doom did as we said. If Doom were half as brilliant as he believes, he know that I never send my brother to his death. But love is always the variable absent from the calculations of a megalomaniac. Come, it is time to introduce Nightmare to heaven. Now, from that point, they dispatch of Nightmare. Now, Doom realizes he's been possessed and he kicks Daniels out. And he said, look, he's dispelling me, Jericho. He's like, all right, let him. Now, from that point, he strikes at Dr. Voodoo, but Dr. Voodoo blocks it off. He's like, that's just the beginning of our audacity. And he clocks Dr. Doom one, like punches him down. He said, all right, show's over. You lost. Go home, go to the house, lick your wounds, whatever. He's like, we will meet again, Drum, and soon. And he says, it is done. However, though the barrier of crows or Legbar will protect the gateway, it is still weakened. He's like, hey, can we focus for just a second on kicking the start of Nightmare and Dr. Doom before we move on to the next terrible threat? You're like, very well. Now, from that standpoint, you go back to New Orleans. Everything is back to normal. The whole world is back to normal. It's like none of this stuff ever happened. And he says New Orleans and the entire world returned to normal. Nightmare is gone. His unreal influence faded. Doom's plot put to bed. So the day is saved. That's what I said. It is never hurts to have someone around to help you boil your thoughts down. You get a bit verbose for my taste. He's like, duly noted. Congratulations, Jericho. You did it. Saved the entire world. You're a damn fine sorcerer supreme. As are you, brother. As are you. Now, from that standpoint, they go back to the Santorum, and he says Nightmare's attack has been erased. Everything reset as if it never happened. The only other soul who will remember is Doom. The orb and the book are back. All who were killed are returned. Nightmare is detained within Bondi. We really are pretty great at this. Now, what of Agamotto's warning? The chanting of Hagath. Well, was Doom the true threat? Have they ceased their warnings? Now, from that standpoint, you go to Bondi and you see Ogun. Ogun says, what news does my earthly servant bring me? Speak quickly, Baronet. I desire to feast on the energies of our guests uninterrupted. He's like, great Ogun master, the gate is open. He said, then let the world of man tremble. Ogun, the Slayer, comes. And that is the end of issue number 5 of Dr. Voodoo, Avenger of the Supernatural. Now, I will tell you, this run of Dr. Voodoo got canceled. Like, it wasn't supposed to end at issue number 5. It really wasn't. Like, this is supposed to be the next chapter and who Dr. Voodoo fights as Sorcerer Supreme. And to keep it a bean, Dr. Voodoo never really truly lost the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme. He was killed much later in New Avengers, like the 2010 run. So Dr. Voodoo has yet to get another solo run. Now, he is featured in Storm. Now, if you looked at the last video I did on Friday, definitely need to check that out, because Dr. Voodoo is a vessel for the for the war above all. Now, I do want Dr. Voodoo to get another solo run at some point, sometime, and maybe his appearance in Storm will actually bring more popularity to that character, and maybe it will take him being on television. Maybe it will take him to be on the MCU in some way, some form. Now, we did get the Academy, the Strange Academy, when we got Ironheart and we got the Magic Store and stuff like that. So maybe we'll see some Dr. Voodoo there. But if you really want to see more of Dr. Voodoo, yes, you can read like New Avengers 2010 run. You can also read Strange Academy, where he is a mentor and a professor teaching about voodoo and other magic. So you definitely want to check that out. I hope you guys like this run of Fans Choice. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell, y'all. So until next time, peace.